Okay, 6.1b in college algebra, continuing with the parabola, top of page 529. And here is our new info that we're going to go over. And I would suggest copying this stuff down. Alright, this is very similar to the other page of information that we had. The only thing that's going to be different is that we're moving the vertex from the origin to another place. So what I've got here is a parabola on the vertex, and then let's look at this one. See, here's the vertex here, and we've moved it over and up. And what they've done is they've shifted it over h to the right h and up k. So everything is being shifted h, k. Okay, and this one here it was a 0, 0, so there's no shift. So see what happens here? What happens to this number right here? It becomes not only the distance over x, but it becomes the distance over, all the way over here and up because it moved. Alright, so let's look at the focus. The focus here was at 0p. Okay, it didn't go left or right any, and it went up p, and that was the only thing it did, is the focus was up p. Over here we shifted the focus over h and up, what did we say, k, to get to the vertex, plus the p. So that's why it says k plus p, is because it's the distance from here to here, that's the k, and the distance from the vertex to the focus is always p. So we went up k and then up p, so k plus p. The directrix we said was y equals negative p over here, right there. Y equals negative p, so it's just down p. But over here, how do you get to the directrix? Well, you have to go down k, okay, and then down p. Okay, so to get to the directrix, you had to go from k and then subtract p from it. So that k was the distance from here to here, so we go to the vertex and then we go down to the directrix. So in order to find the directrix, you find the vertex and then go from there. So we're at k here, we went up k, and then we go down p to get to the directrix. Now over here we do the same thing, but what was our k? Our vertex is at 0, so we just went 0 minus p, or just negative p here. So that's why there's no number in front of this negative, because the number that's in front of it, the k value, is 0. Alright, same thing is true over here, only we're going left to right. Alright, and I'm just going to go ahead and not worry about explaining all this, because it's the exact same thing, only sideways, and dealing with the h instead of the k, like we did up here. Alright, so the things you need to write down. You need this equation here, if it opens up. You need this equation here, if it opens sideways. Vertex is hk, vertex is hk. That doesn't change between the two. Okay? The focus is whatever distance it is from the origin, h, and then up, k plus p. The directrix is y equals k minus p. And you've got your vertex, focus, and directrix there. So make sure you write all of this down depending on those situations, and make sure you write, this is when it opens up or down, this is when it opens left or right. Okay, so this is example 3, and they're asking us to find the vertex, the directrix, and the focus from that equation, and then they want us to graph it. Alright, the graphing is pretty easy. It's finding the vertex, directrix, and the focus. Alright, so first of all, we have to get it in this form right there, because when we get it in that form, we can easily figure out what we're looking for. Now, the important thing is here, you find out which exponent, or where the exponent is, it's on the x. So that means we're going to use the equation that has the exponent on the x, which is this one, x minus h, the quantity squared. So we're going to try to get it into this format right there. So what do they have? They have the x's on the left, they have the y's on the right. So that's what we're going to do first. So we're going to write this as x squared plus 6x equals negative 4y minus 5. Okay, so that was the first step. Now what we're going to do, notice we have x minus h, the quantity squared. That's completing the square. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to kind of do a kind of a completing the square. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this, put a space there. Remember how you do when you complete the square. We're going to take half of this term and square it, and we're going to add that over here as well. You can't do one thing on one side without doing it to the other. So now we have x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals negative 4y plus 4. Alright, now we can write this as x plus 3, quantity squared, so we have it in this format right there, like we wanted, equals, I'm going to pull out the 4, and when I pull out that 4, I get a y minus 1. Okay. Alright, so at this point what happens is this part right here says that that 4 is positive. So I'm going to make this a little bit different then. So that's going to be x plus 3 equals 4, and I'm going to have to multiply negative 1 there. That becomes my p there, so that this 4 is positive. Alright, so according to our equation up here, this is negative, and here it's positive. This is negative, and it's negative, so I'm good to go there. So I have to change that to a negative, so what do? X minus negative 3 Alright, so there's the exact equation that I want. It is in this form. Very important. Alright, so everything else, we don't really care about all this other junk, because all we care about is this equation right there in yellow. Okay, so vertex. What is the vertex? It's always hk. So what is my h? My h is negative 3 from here, and my k is 1 from here. My p is negative 1 from here, and that's really all I need. So my vertex is just going to be hk. So vertex equals negative 3, 1. My focus is, that's an F, h, k plus p. So negative 3 is my h. What is my k plus 3? Well, my k is 1, and my p is negative 1. So 1 plus negative 1 is 0. So my focus is at negative 3, 0. My directrix, it says, is y equals k minus p. Okay, so that's my directrix right there. So my directrix is basically an equation because it's a line, so it's going to be a linear equation. And my k is 1 minus, and my p is negative 1, or y equals 2. That ends up being my directrix. Alright, so what do I do with that? Let's move that out of here, and let's graph this. So once you have this bit of information right here, then the graphing is easy. Alright, so what do I have? My vertex is at negative 3, 1. And my focus is at negative 3, 0. So that being the case, I know that it's going to open down because my vertex is above my focus, and my directrix is at y equals 2. Okay, so I graph that, and now really all I have to do is go, and I'm done. And the distance between my vertex and my directrix is the same. The distance between my vertex and my focus is the same. And again, notice this wraps around my focus, so I know that that's right. Okay, so we have one more to try, example 4, and I'll do that on the next video, and it shouldn't take too long and we'll be done.